you're going to see this expression everywhere. And when you do, you're going to sing this little chant that I just wrote. Are you ready? I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so grateful. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so blessed. Got it? That's it. Here we go. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so grateful. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so blessed. And here's the second part. It goes like this. I am grateful. I am so blessed. That line again. Said I am grateful. I am so blessed. Woo! I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so grateful. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so blessed. Sing that again. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I feel grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so grateful. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so blessed. That second part again. Here we go. I am grateful. I am so blessed. Yeah, yeah. I am grateful. I am so blessed. Woo! I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so grateful. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am grateful, thankful, blessed. I am so blessed. Just that last line. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. Bring it down. I am so blessed. So blessed. I am so blessed. And when you go to the store and you're going to see this on a little tea towel, are you going to remember this melody? So I want you to walk around the store and sing, I am so blessed. And buy those little tea towels and say, I am grateful, thankful, and blessed.
David Woods Bartley is a globally recognized mental health advocate who has delivered over 800 presentations across 4 continents. A 2-time TEDx speaker, David shares his journey from mental hellness to mental wellness, inspiring diverse audiences to transform their approach to mental health. David, welcome.
So I have to say, I haven't been in a Unity church in a while. I've been doing work in the more, what we call more traditional churches, and they're not like Unity churches. It is so great to be back into this space, and I love the new banner. In case you wonder, is the universe interested about you? So I'm standing here. I meet Ron, I meet Karen, David and I had been connected, and I look, and one of the people that I know profoundly just happens to walk in the door, Juanita. Well, Juanita and I knew each other from Unity of Sacramento for years, and I had no expectation that Juanita was going to be here. And the fact, I love that the universe is so concerned about us, about me, about what's going on. And it's a great reminder because in traditional churches, you don't have that experience per se. So you may not realize, but I wanted to remind you, in case you forgot, we're in the holidays right now. And what I want to do today is to offer a different approach to spell the word holiday, and I want to do it beginning with the letter C. Now, on August 31st, 2011, I believed that I was worthless. I believed that I was useless. I believed that the world would be better off without me, and I tried to take my own life. But my life was saved. And as my brother said, I began this journey now that has been 13 years and ongoing, from mental illness to mental wellness. And the foundation of my work that I share around the world is the most important thing that we can do is it's all about connection. So while we spell holiday with an H in the old way, we are going to spell it here at Unity, we're going to spell it with a C. We're going to talk about connection. Because what I want to lay out for you today is a course, 3 courses, and then there's dessert as well. But that connection creates this thing called hope. And I'm not clinical. I have no initials past my name, so you just take my word for it, just from one man's opinion, that I think why love and faith and joy get front billing, hope oftentimes is kind of in the background. But I would actually say, for somebody like me, that hope is the single most important thing. That connection creates this thing called hope, and hope not only saves lives, it helps create a foundation of life. It actually would allow us to look at life through new eyes, to borrow the slogan behind me. And so I want to talk about connection, and I promise that I'm not going to say anything that's not grounded in either a profound quote from some amazing human being or a definition from the Cambridge Dictionary, because I want you to walk out with something that's tangible, because I want to create this opportunity for you to create connection with anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. I promise you, this is not just, this is real. This is what I do. This is what is important to me. This is, I think, what the universe has asked me to share. And so the first thing is what is this thing called connection? And I'm going to use Brene Brown. And so you know at the beginning that it's going to be pretty profound if it's going to come from Dr. Brown. And here's what she says, and this really could be in the Cambridge Dictionary. She says, I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and they derive strength and sustenance from the relationship. So we could actually take the Bible, in which Jesus says, when 2 or more are gathered, there I am. Well, what is he talking about? He's talking about connection. He's talking about the Christ presence that unity is all about. And once again, what Dr. Brown says, I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and they derive strength and sustenance from the relationship. You know, if I had a mic in my hand, I would drop it. Because what else is there? That what Dr. Brown defines is life. And we know what it's like when we are in the presence of a human being and we have that incredible experience of feeling seen, heard, and valued, where we can share whatever we want to share without judgment. And when we leave, we feel like we've had this full meal. We've derived strength and sustenance from the relationship. And my assertion is there's only one emotion that comes out of that. It's hope. And hope is defined in the dictionary as the feeling that what is wanted can be had. So in other words, what this thing that I'm dreaming, this need that I desperately have, when I feel hopeful, I feel like I can have it. And we have that when we're in the space of connection. And so in the work that I do, people won't end their life when they feel hopeful. They won't. And we can actually give that to each other in these 3 ways that are so simple. You already do them, but you didn't realize how important they are. You didn't realize that in the holiday season, this could be the gift that you could give to every single person that you see, no matter what. And it's 3 gifts, 3 courses if we want to use a meal, because of course we may still have a little bit of, as Ron had shared with me, a little bit of comatose because of the turkey that we ate just a couple of days ago. But it's recognition, understanding, and expression. Now, in a previous, I won't say previous life, but at one point in my life, I was married to an amazing woman, and we ran an incredible animal sanctuary. The sanctuary was called A Chance for Bliss, and we were an end-of-life animal sanctuary. So we took the animals that nobody wanted. We had 100 animals at any one time, 25 horses, 23 dogs, all of whom lived in the house. Really? 9 pot-bellied pigs. We had goats and sheep and ducks and geese and bunnies. And we did no adoptions. This place was extraordinary. So what I want you to now become really good at in this first course is about recognition, is becoming great with people's names. Just practice using people's names. And you're going to put yourself in this there's not going to be a whole lot of camaraderie down this lane because most adults will say, well, I'm terrible with names. No, just practice because we know what it's like when someone remembers our name. So we became known in the community as the place where animals that had no place to go because of age or condition, they would come to the sanctuary. And we were particularly fond, you all know what a Boston Terrier is? So Boston Terrier is a dog, and they look kind of like a Frenchie, but they fart. That's basically what they do. So I've had like 30. I know the breed. So we get a call one day from the Sacramento Animal Shelter from a Dr. Margaret Wright, who was the veterinarian. She called us and said, hey, I got this 14 or 15-year-old Boston Terrier. She's a female. She's like an old queen. Nobody wants her, and I just can't put her down. Do you all have room at the inn? And we said, absolutely. We'd be happy to take her. So we go down there, and sure enough, and there's Dr. Wright. Now, Dr. Wright, it's important to know, she was a very tall woman, and she was stoic. I'm a hugger. So Dr. Wright was not necessarily a hugger. And I mention that because when I saw Dr. Wright holding this Boston that had a gray muzzle, and she looked like a queen, Dr. Wright had been crying, which really, it struck me as odd. And the first thing I said is, Dr. Wright, are you okay? And she said, yeah, I'm fine. And she's holding this beautiful Boston. And before I could say anything more, she said, very emphatically, she says, I've named her Ruth. Okay. Like, wow, I was kind of like struck. Like, one, not super creative. Two, she was so emphatic about it. And then before I could quiz her, she said, I've named her Ruth because I wanted her to have respect, understanding, truth, and honor. And I'm like, oh. When we remember a person's name and use it, that is exactly what we give them. It is an obvious demonstration of respect. We are seeking to understand who they are, the truth and the honor. That's what we do. Practice that, and you will shock people. And you will remember people's names on a day that's the exact thing that they need. That small little gift, seeing things through, it gives them the opportunity to see things through new eyes. Dale Carnegie, the famous Dale Carnegie, said, to a person, the sound of that person's name is the most important and sweetest sound in any language. Just practice that. And here's the homework assignment. Next time you go out to dinner or lunch, you're going to be in relationship with that server for about an hour. Every time, not every other, every single time that soul, that being comes back to your table, use their name. Every time. And at the end of the hour, you tell me what the difference is. It will shock you. That's a simple thing. It will shock you. Every single time that soul comes back to the table, use their name. Practice. That's recognition. That's the first course. Second course is understanding. So I was going to end my life by jumping off a 730-foot tall bridge, the Forest Hill Bridge, just outside of Sacramento where I live. It's actually 500 feet further off the ground than its more famous cousin right here. So my body is pressed up against the rail. My arms are out. I'm not looking at the extraordinary view. I'm looking down at the North Fork of the American River. Somebody saw me, thank God. Somebody picked up the phone and called 911, and a sheriff's deputy approached me from the left-hand side. And you know what? You know what he didn't do? He made no contact with me at all. You know what he did do? He created connection. I don't remember the initial back and forth. But you know what I do remember? The first question. And you know what his first question was? David, would you please share with me how you are feeling right now? I didn't expect that. It was an amazing question because he wanted to know how I felt, what was going on. And you know what he did next? He listened. The great Rachel Naomi Remen says, our listening creates a sanctuary for the homeless parts in another person. Just listening. And the second question he asked is the greatest question of all time in the work that I do. I just repeat it everywhere around the globe. He said, when you encounter somebody who's suffering, and I like to use that word in particular, I think suffering, because suffering, if you look at the definition, is about pain. Struggling is about effort. This is suffering. There are people who are suffering. And what can we do? We don't know. Well, what do you mean, brother? What are you talking about? Don't leave me like that. Ask them. Ask him the same question that he asked me. David, what can I do to help you feel supported right now? What can I do to help you feel supported right now? It is the best question of all time because you know what's going to come back? Shockingly simple answer. So I'll give you a quick example. And this is not about me, it's about us. So I have a friend of mine who has a son. I'm 61. Levi's probably close to 40. So she knows my story. Julie knows my story. And she called me one day and she said, hey, can you call Levi? And I'm like, well, I'd love to call Levi. What's going on? She said, he's really suffering. I'm like, Levi? I'm like, oh my God. It was shocking to me. I didn't realize. I said, of course I'll call. And so I called and I said, brother, what's going on? And so we talked back and forth. And I said, okay. And then I remember, I said, what can I do to help you feel supported right now? And he said, just stay in touch with me. I'm like, okay, well, what does that look like? He said, well, just text me. I said, that's it? He said, yeah, just text me. I said, okay. So I just got in the habit. I just text him. You know, just text. And it's important to note, so it's always very positive, of course, and there was always at the end, I love you. I love you. So important to note that I wouldn't hear back from him immediately. Sometimes it would be 2 or 3 days. And it would usually be, you know, maybe a thank you or a smiley face. And there were times I thought, this is kind of stupid. You know, it's not making a difference. But then I'd say, get myself out of the way. Let's just do what the universe needs me to do. So this is how powerful this is. 2 weeks ago, Levi, I sent him a text, and he sends me back a text, and he says, hey, I just want to let you know, I think I've turned a corner. Thanks for reminding me who I am. That's all I did was just send a text. Thanks for reminding me who I am. That just, what can I do to help you feel supported right now? Just have that question be right on the top of your mind when you're interacting with somebody, because what's going to come back, we don't know what's most helpful. We may think we do, but if we can ask, it's incredible. So recognition is the first course. Names. Respect, understanding, truth, and honor. Second, understanding what we see is oftentimes not what is. We realize in unity that we can let go of fear because that's false evidence appearing real. We want to look at it with new eyes, but the only way we're going to get to that place of understanding, because the opposite of fear is not calm. The opposite of fear is understanding. The more we understand, the less we fear. But we got to ask questions. And the other promise I want you to make is you are never, once you leave this place today, you are never going to ask a why question. Never. Because when you ask me a why question, it's a justification. I have to explain myself. I want you to ask me a what question. What about sharing? Well, of course I want to share. Why'd you do that? Hey, what inspired you to do that? Totally different question. And the last part is expression. We got to let people know how we feel. Well, they know I love them. Tell them again. They know I care. Tell them again. Text them again. So I have 3 brothers, John, Jim, and Tom. They are my heroes. They are 6, 9, 11 years older than I. We lost our father when I was just 7. My eldest brother at 18 moved in to be my dad. He, to this day, literally, continues to be that presence. At 72 and 61, he's my guy. A retired 2-star general, 42 years in the Army. And he and his beloved of 40 years, Joan, live in the Midwest, 2 hours ahead of us. And first thing I do every day when I wake up is I grab my phone. I'm not a gamer. I grab my phone because you know what's going to be on there? Is a text from my 72-year-old dad. Now, my brother is a West Point graduate, so it's going to be formatted, of course. 4 parts, always. First thing, what he's doing that day. Second thing, his direction, guidance for me, because I still need it. Third part is a motivational quote. And the last part, always, love you. Every single day. Doesn't miss. So until 3 years ago, August 31st of every year was the worst day of the year for me, because it was the anniversary of the day that I was going to kill myself. And I'm a January baby anyway. I'm not a big fan of summer, so kind of interesting that my wife now's name is Summer. So I go to the mailbox 3 years ago on this day, and I'm angry, and but we know what's visibly showing oftentimes is not reflective of what's going on internally. We know that in unity. And so I rip open the mail, and there's this card, and there's no return address. I'm not in a good mood. And it's advice from a glacier. Carve your own path. Go slow. Channel your strengths. Smooth the way for others. Keep whatever. I'm not in the mood. I'm not. What? A glacier? What? Not today. Not on August 31st. And I'm going to throw the card away. Thank God. Thank her. Thank the universe I didn't. Because on the inside it says, happy today. From my dear friend Greg, who paid attention and knew that that day was going to be hard. And so he did something about it. Hey, just a note to remind you that you are an extraordinary person with so much to give so many others. You are a tremendous source of healing just by your personable presence. This is not only my sentiment, so many others also believe in you. Believe in yourself, reject the lies. I love you. You know what August 31st is now? New Year's Day. And because of this expression, this connection, seen, heard, valued, because of this hope, you know what the celebration is? I drive back to the bridge. And I park my vehicle in the very same spot that I did 13 years ago. But there is no note. And I got my keys in my hand because I'm coming back. And I make eye contact with every driver who's passing by. And I literally say, Happy New Year! And I reach that midpoint. There's no need to look down. So I look up and I look out. And I give thanks that somebody cared. Somebody knew what the power of connection was to change lives. Somebody knew that that creates hope. And you know what's interesting? I didn't notice it 13 years ago. I'm sure it was there. There's a call box. And there's a sign on top of the call box. And you know what the sign says? There is hope. Make the call. It's all about connection. And I'll leave you with this. And my beloved niece, Brooke, who I just adore, and she's so incredibly creative. And she found this quote from a guy named Matthew on Twitter who loves cats. But he put hope in a way that I think really hope is all about. And here's what Matthew says. People speak of hope as if it is this delicate, ephemeral thing made of whispers and spider webs. It's not. Hope has dirt on her face, blood on her knuckles, the grit of cobblestones in her hair, and she just spat out a tooth as she rises for another go. That's why I believe hope is the single most important thing. And in this holiday season, by way of recognition, by way of expression, by way of curiosity, and the methods of creating connection, we can give this to every single person that we see. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So I just changed my song based on your beautiful message. So I think it's Remembering Who We Are. Beautiful song by Gary Lynn Floyd. Today. Do you remember you are loved at the heart of your being? Do you remember there is more to this life than what you're seeing? Let me remind you, you are beautiful by far. You've nothing left to prove when you remember who you are. And if you ever I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make your way through the dark, but I will see for you and I'll help you remember. Remember who you are. You remember there is peace in the middle of this storm. Do you remember you have all you need inside to keep you warm? Let me remind you, you're the dust from a star. Your essence is revealed when you remember who you are. If you ever forget, I will help you remember just who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make your way through the dark, but I will see for you and I'll help you remember. You are stronger than you think you are, braver than you seem. This life that lies ahead of you is like nothing you've ever seen. And if you ever forget, I will help remember just who you are and who you're find your way.